This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, in the last session, we talked about certain basic elements of controlling, right? Today, let us talk about other generic topics in SAP FICO that we have to know in order to learn SAP FICO or in order to clear your SAP FICO interviews. Now, let me put generic topics on SAP FICO. Now, when we talk about this generic topics in SAP FICO, we are not representing any of your course content here. We are not talking about SAP FI subcomponents, SAP CO subcomponents. This discussion is going to be apart from your SAP FICO content. Now, assuming that you have completed your training or assuming you have cleared all your SAP FI topic preparation and you've cleared all your SAP CO topic preparation. Next thing that you have to do is you have to start preparing for your interviews. Agree? If my training is
Yes,
completed, if my practice is completed, the next step is to prepare yourself for attending interviews. For that, what exactly we have to do? For everything, you have to work from your side. It's not that somebody will come and help you, nobody will come to help you out in any matter, no matter what. Right? So don't assume that somebody will help you. Prepare everything yourself, make sure that you're confident enough to handle your own things. Now, that is what is needed if you become a consultant. You have to be an individual contributor. Unlike your other jobs, you will be having some other team members. If you're absent today, another team member will complete your work. It is not like that. If you're on leave today as a FICO consultant, whatever the work you're supposed to do today will be pending. Tomorrow you have to complete your works, which means whatever the SAP FICO activities you have to do, only you have to do. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
So don't be under impression that today there is an urgent meeting or today there is some emergency work. I will take leave today, somebody else will handle. So tomorrow I will go happily. Nothing will happen like that. If you're absent today, you will have to do it tomorrow. No surprise, you may get a phone call from your office stating this issue is very urgent, what to do? Because you are the only one responsible person on any activity that is assigned to you. Now, once your preparation is completed, what next? You have to prepare your resume.
Yeah.
Right, first thing is to prepare your resume. Now there are two type of resumes. One is your fresher resume. Other one is experienced resume. If you are preparing fresher resume, it is simple and straightforward. All you are going to do is put all the SAP FICO course content in your resume that you are aware of. Baseline config, you are aware of GL, APP, Dunning, BRS, integrations, asset accounting, assessment cycles, distribution cycles, cost center, profit center, document splitting, all the topics you can mention wherever you are confident. On the other side, if you are going ahead with experienced resume, you have got different scenarios under your experienced resume. You have to see what experience you are showing. Are you showing your genuine experience or are you trying to show any kind of projection? If you are trying to show genuine experience, you cannot put anything on SAP FICO site. All the things that you can show is you can show that you are a trained candidate on SAP FICO and mention all your experiences as it is. On the other side, if you wanted to project some experience, so here you have to be very careful. If you want to project your experience, you have to be very careful while picking the company which you want to show that you are working for. And everybody is aware that in the market you get a lot of people who are giving you the documentation. You'll get a documentation from a lot of people, and in this documentation you have to pick genuine and a trusted documentation person. who will actually support you clearing your background verification, right? So first of all, this is called as fake experience, in that there are a lot of fake people giving you the experience. So pick genuine fake experience candidates who will support you clear your background verification. That is one thing. Once you pick your payroll company where you want to project, after that, see how many years of experience you are showing. Whether you want to show 2 year experience, whether you want to show 3 year experience, 4 year experience. Accordingly, you have to pick your projects. Okay, if you are showing 2 year experience, you must show at least 1 or 2 projects. If you are showing 3 year experience, you have to show 2 to 3 projects. If you are showing 4 year experience, you have to show minimum 3 to 4 projects. And out of your projects, there has to be one implementation project, one support project mandatory. And first project cannot be implementation project. Never put first project as your implementation project. Always put your first project as a support project. In between, you can put implementation, and again, your latest project should be support. Implementation put in the middle. So you're starting your career as a support consultant. After support project, you were part of implementation project. After implementation project, you are currently in support project. Okay, so you don't have to go in detail into the technical. If you are working on support project, what is the ticketing tool that you are using? Forget about it. If you do not know what is the ticketing tool, there is no problem with it. Upfront, you can tell you had no ticketing tool in your client. You were using email alone. Or if you Google, you will get 3 4 ticketing tool names. Nobody is going to reject you because you are not telling the ticketing tool. Don't be under that impression. Right upfront, you can tell we do not have any ticketing tool, or you can tell our client had the internal ticketing tool. You don't have to tell the ticketing tool names that are available on the market. Not required. The point that is to be considered here is how you are working on supporting project. What was your role in the supporting project? What kind of issues you were getting in support project? How you are handling the issues. They might ask you, which client are you currently working for? When I say after seeing your resume, they might ask you, which client are you currently working for? You have to talk about the current project that you are working for, which means the recent project. If you talk about you're working for some ABC company, ABC company is your client for which you are doing support. Now, first thing that you have to do is prepare something about this ABC company. Whatever the project you're keeping on your resume, you must know the business process of this ABC company. What is this company? Where is it located? Sorry. What is this company? Where is it located? What are the products of this company? At least try to understand high level organization structure of your ABC company. In short, all the companies that are projected or that are displayed on your resume, you must have the basic overview of the business process. Because you may get a straightforward question, tell me about your client. What is your client business process? Which industry they belong to? What is their main products? What is your client organization structure? Now, this is not related to your SAP FICO course content. This is something related to your client. Only you can answer this question. No Google will give you the answers for this. Because I do not know what is your project in your resume. If my project on my resume is ABC company, if I had worked for ABC company, definitely I will know what is this ABC company all about. Now you have to Google, find out the information, know where is the location of this company. People might ask you, where is this company location? Sometimes when these kind of questions are asked, people will go blank or people will give incorrect answers. And if you say that this company is located in Bangalore, they might ask you, where is it in Bangalore? Make sure that you know the address of the company. And they might ask you, how are you supporting for this client? Are you supporting on-site from the client location or are you supporting from your company? offshore support or on-site support from the client location. And if you say that you are supporting on-site from the client location, they might ask you, where do you stay in Bangalore? You may get a question, where do you stay in Bangalore? If you say that I am staying in X location and your client location is, let's say, Y, they might ask you, how do you travel from your location to your client location? No surprise, you will get questions at this level if the other person gets a doubt on you. If whatever the questions I'm talking about now are the questions that you are facing, be very sure that the person who is taking your interview got to know that your experience is not genuine. He understood something is wrong with your experience, something is wrong with the way you are talking. So they will ask the questions which are irrelevant to your SAP FICO. When these kind of questions are coming, tell your mindset on the spot, stating that you have been rejected. That's it. Don't expect anything from that interview. Come out, don't even get disappointed, don't even get upset. Right? So make sure the kind of questions that you're getting on your interview, you are able to decide what is going to be the result. Okay, these kind of crazy questions people will ask only when they get doubt, only when they do not want to select you. Okay, so first thing what you need to know about the client profile that you're showing on your resume. And then if it is a support project, have some 5-6 support tickets. They might ask you, on which tickets are you currently working on? They might ask you on which tickets currently you're working on. How many tickets are assigned to you? What is the most complicated issue that you worked before? What is your daily routine in your project? If there are no tickets, what will you do the whole day? And they might ask you, how do you get incidents? What is your change request? How do you configuration? Apart from configuration, apart from solving the tickets, any other activities do you do on your day-to-day project? Okay, so these kind of questions you have to prepare. And if you are blank for the question, what tickets or what issues are you currently working on, you're rejected. Upfront rejected, no matter what. Because you are telling you are currently working for a company on a support project and you are not able to tell what are the issues that you are currently handling. Anybody will get it out, including you. If the other person says the same thing, you will also get it out. Agree? Yes, sir. Right. If I say that I am working currently for a support project, but I am not able to tell what I am working currently, what are the issues that I am handling? So certain things that we are talking will give the other person a big lead that we are not genuine. So do not give it from your side. The way you talk, let the other person will never realize that you are a trained candidate. Now, let's say you have one more company, XYZ company. For XYZ company, let's say you have done implementation. Now, when we are talking about support, now we are talking about implementation project. So you're telling first support project, later on implementation project. Now, any project is duration specific. Any project is duration specific, which means you must input the duration of the project on your resume, from when to when you were part of this project. If I mention that my experience is 4 years, if I say my experience is 4 years, you have to be very, very careful on this calculations. If something goes wrong, you are caught red-handedly based on the durations that you have kept. If I am showing that my experience is 4 years, is it exactly 4 years? Never put 4 years. Always put 4 point. 4 year 2 months, 4 year 3 months, 4 year 4 months. And every month, if you are not getting the calls, every month, if you are not getting selected, you have to keep on updating your resume on a monthly basis. Let's say April, my experience is 4.3 years. Now in the month of May, Should I still put 4.3 or I have to update 4.4?
Update
4.4.
4.4.
April 4.3. In May, I have to put 4.3 or 4.4.
4.4.
If you put 4.4, you're wrong. Did we work in April? Did we work in April? Are we currently working? Is the next question. Are we currently working according to our resume, according to our experienced resume? There are again two categories. Now, each of these points is very, very careful. Any mistake that you do in these points will be an open fact for everybody to catch you that you are a projected experienced candidate. They are not able to find out with your explanation, with your FICO knowledge. With these basic points, you are revealing that you are not a genuine candidate. Okay, project everything in such a way that nobody is able to catch you. Right? So there are two things. Option number one, you are currently working. Option number two, you are currently not working. If you are currently working, you have to change 4.3 to 4.4. You're right. If you are not currently working, should I change 4.3 to 4.4?
No.
If I'm not working, I should not change. So you have to know at what stage you have to change your experience on your resume. Now, who can decide this? You can decide or I can decide. You can decide this because I do not know on what basis you want to get into the market. What is your strategy? And do not reveal these points with your friends. Never share your resume with your friends because if you share with your friend, you cannot trust anybody on this. No surprise, they may simply copy paste your whole resume, changing their name to your name. Alright, changing their details into your details. That's it. Everything remains the same except the name and contact details. That is also possible. Some people will get rejected not even getting interviewed because the same resume they have already seen. The only change is name will get updated, contact number, email ID will be the change. Otherwise, everything is same. It is as simple as like if you go to an internet center, if you ask for a fresher resume, internet center guy will have some 3-4 formats of resumes. Right? He will only need your name, contact number, address, qualification, college name. That's it. The same thing will happen here also. And you have to be very, very careful because your resume plays a very key role. And if you're not calculative, if you're not careful at this stage, nothing will work out for you. And you will never know the reasons behind your failures. Okay, so if you put implementation project, now for support, you can put any duration. For support, you can put any duration because the support is a continuous activity. Once implementation is completed, as long as you are using SAP, you will need support. So you can put any duration of your choice. But when it comes to implementation, you cannot put any duration as you want. So you must know when this XYZ company implemented their SAP. If you Google, you will get to know the information. But you have to Google properly so that you'll get the right information. And find out when this XYZ went live or when this XYZ implemented SAP and who implemented SAP for this. You have to be very careful with implementation. You must know duration of your implementation project and the implementing partner who implemented this SAP. Let's say if XYZ SAP is implemented by some Infosys, Assuming Infosys implemented XYZ, tomorrow you are going to attend interview with Infosys only. No surprise. You are not aware that Infosys implemented XYZ company, and the person who is taking your interview in Infosys may see that you were part of XYZ. Immediately something will strike, but not in a negative way. They might ask you, do you know who implemented for XYZ company? Which company you were working while you were implementing SAP for XYZ? If you tell Infosys, you have to tell that you are an ex-employee of Infosys, or you are outsourced from a consulting company to Infosys, or you are deployed to Infosys. If not, you are caught here red-handedly because you have not done any homework knowing the implementation details. And these are the common errors which lot of people will do. And once you are clear with this, next thing that you have to do, the duration. From when to when? Is this a 1 year implementation, 8 month implementation, 6 months implementation, or 1.5 year implementation? In this implementation, what was your role? In the implementation project, you have to know your role, what you have done in this implementation project, and what is the version of SAP that is implemented. Is that ECC or S/4HANA? If ECC, which methodology was used? In ECC, which methodology do we use?
SAP methodology.
SAP
ASAP.
methodology. In S/4HANA,
Activate mode.
Activate methodology. If you talk about ECC implementation, you must know ASAP methodology. How many stages we have in ASAP?
5 phases.
P stands for
Project preparation.
project preparation. Next,
BB. Business blueprint. Business blueprint.
project preparation, business blueprint. Next,
Realization.
Realization.
realization. Next,
Final preparation.
final preparation. Next,
Go live. Go live. Go live support.
go live and support. In case of Activate,
Prepare.
D stands for discover, and then
Design. Prepare.
P for discover,
Explore.
prepare. Next, explore,
Deploy.
this
Realize.
R is the same. This R is same. What is this R here? Realize. Here also this
Realization.
is realize. Next, D,
Deploy.
deploy. Next is R,
Run.
run. So in short, D for discover, P for
Prepare.
discover, prepare, E for
Explore.
Explore.
explore, R for
Realize.
Realize.
realize, D for
Deploy.
deploy, and then R for run.
Run.
If you say
Run.
that you are an experienced candidate, you were part of an implementation, if you are not able to explain this, you are rejected, no matter what. You are rejected because you are not able to tell this. Okay, and you have to know your role. Go on mute if you are not talking, please. Your role in each of the stages. Now, if you are part of an ECC project implementation, you must know this methodology and where you were part of this project, whether you were part from initial project preparation or business blueprint or realization phase, or final preparation phase, or from go live and support phase. Similarly, if you were part of an implementation project for any S4 HANA, you must know from which stage you were part of the project. This is first point. Second point, your activities or your contribution on the project. What did you do on this project? Whether you were part of initial business process discussions, or you were part of business blueprint designing, or you're part of configuration, or you're part of testing, user manual preparation, or conducting user trainings, or on the cutover activities. You cannot say you were part of everything, because with 4 years of experience, you will not be part of everything. Okay, you have to be very specific. You will not be involving in all of this. If you're part of an implementation project, never tell you were part of everything unless you really had an experience on any implementation project. If you're projecting experience, never tell you were involved in all of these phases. Right? So always try to mention you were part on the project after completion of the business blueprint. In short, from the realization phase, from the configuration phase. Don't tell that you were part of the initial requirement gathering sessions. Even if you tell that you had senior consultants with you and you were just part of it. That's all. You did not do anything there. If you tell you were part of initial requirement gathering sessions, they will put you a lot of cross questions. What kind of a questionnaire that you have asked your client? How did you understand their existing business process? If you had any gaps, if you had any process deviations, how did you handle them? So a lot of crazy questions will come for which we may not be able to answer. So better avoid such things. Nothing wrong in it. And in fact, it is reality that you will not be part of any implementation project from the scratch, considering your experience. When this is the fact, stick to the fact. Tell everybody that you were part from the realization phase. You've been provided with the business blueprint or solution designing document. Based on that, you started configuring the system and you tested in the development. You did unit testing and you prepared unit testing documentation. You prepared user manuals. And you were part of user training on pick 2-3 areas like GL, AP, AR. You have conducted user trainings on GL module, AP module, AR module. If they ask what about the others, tell that my senior consultants took care of the other modules. You have to tell that you are part of the project, you have done your contribution, and you have to be very specific. This is what I have done. If they have to ask you any cross questions, they have to ask you from what you have done only. When you say that I have not done cutover activities, they cannot ask you questions from cutover activities. Nobody will ask you that. Because it is an open fact, if you are a SAP FICO consultant, you will not be working on everything. Your work will be limited. So pick areas where you are more confident, where you are more strong, and explain only those areas. And they will ask you on those areas only. In some interviews, they will upfront ask you on what areas you worked. So you have to be very confident enough. But we end up telling I worked on all entire SAP FICO. That is wrong. This is because we are not aware of the reality. Right? Once you do this, and important point that you have to know, if you are showing any experience on your resume, you must know about data migration or cutover activities. If you are not aware of this, there is no use. You have kept implementation project or experience on your resume. No exception for this if you are not aware of this. Whatever the configurations and all you tell. If you are unable to answer this, if you are unable to explain this area, you will be rejected. Now, first of all, we have to know what is cutover activity. Any idea what is cutover activity? In which project you
Before
will get
open
cutover
item net,
activities?
in implementation project, sir, when we have
Bharat?
to migrate the data from non-SAP or SAP system to another SAP system, we do some certain activities. So we have block. We will block the entire posting so that it won't user won't able to post again. So that data won't misbehave. Once we do that, we have to gather the data and post it to SAP.
Right. So you have to bring, in short, all your client legacy system data into SAP data, for which you will have to decide which month will be your cutover month and what data you are going to take it. And how do you take your cutover data from your client? If you are a FICO consultant, in what form you will get your cutover data? What is the base for your cutover data?
Open item activity, master data, transaction data.
That is your breakup. But what is the base for your cutover data? What is the key point of your cutover data? There is one report that your client will share you.
It is next month it is go live. This month before 1 month we will take that.
What is that called?
Or like it is
LSMW.
a project. If it is project start, it will next month. We can take everything data like TB value. Before go live start. We can share like full data like system.
So you will get TB from your client. What is TB?
Trail balance.
You will get trial balance from your client. If you are not talking, if you are not mentioning a trial balance term, if you are part of an implementation project, chances are getting rejection is very, very high. Without a trial balance, no cutover activity is complete. We all know that data migration or cutover activity represents bringing your old system data into new system data, correct? Non-SAP
Yes, sir.
system or SAP system to SAP.
Yes.
So when you are bringing the data, you need the data first. You have to transfer data from one system to the other system. There should be data, right? This data is given in the form of a trial balance. In form of what?
Trial balance.
In form of trial balance, you will get it, and you must know how to read and how to understand a trial balance. The reason why I am telling you this, first thing, you will receive TB from client. After receiving the TB from client, you have to analyze TB and ask for relevant breakup. There are certain areas for which you need breakup. So you must know for which information we need breakup on the trial balance. Once you get the breakup, you will upload the TB in SAP. Once trial balance is uploaded in SAP, you will download TB from SAP. Okay, next thing, you will share TB with client and you will get sign off from client on TB balances. Now there are a lot of activities revolving around the trial balance. Right? First you have to receive the trial balance from your client. You have to read, understand the trial balance, upload the trial balance in SAP, download the trial balance in SAP. In this, You have to know both things, how to upload data into trial balance, how to download data from trial balance. And those who have completed your training already, anybody has downloaded a trial balance from SAP before?
No, sir.
No one?
No, sir.
Okay. So you must know how to download data from trial balance, and you must know how to see the trial balance on SAP. Now, once your trial balance is generated, there are two more things dependent on trial balance. What are those two more things?
Amount should be matched. Legacy system, what the client gave that amount and what you uploaded in SAP, that amount should be matched.
Now, after trial balance, if you refresh your accounting cycle, after trial balance, there are two more components, two more things.
We can
If you
take
write
approval
your,
from client and sign up.
if I write accounting cycle here. So in the accounting cycle, first thing that you have is business transaction. Based on the business transaction, you will pass journal entry. Based on journal entry, what is prepared?
Yes,
Ledger accounts. Based on ledger account balances, you will prepare trial balance. Based on the trial balance, you will prepare profit and loss
profit.
statement. After P&L, you will prepare
Well,
balance sheet. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
And we must know this. And there are some companies, there are certain companies wherein they will select you if you are good at accounting. This is another reality. They ignore your SAP knowledge, but if you are good at accounting, you are able to understand the accounting process, they will pick you. Because they can train you on SAP FICO configurations and all, but they cannot train you on accounting concepts. Now, if you are uploading trial balance and you are downloading trial balance, once you upload and once you download, how, on what basis your client is going to verify your TB is correct or not? He will just do a VLOOKUP. He will just do a VLOOKUP on the Excel sheet from your trial balance with his trial balance. If values are coming correct, he will say, okay, TB values are matching. Next thing that they will do is they will execute P&L statement on SAP. They will run balance sheet on SAP. They will verify whether the profit and loss is coming correct or not. And they will see if their asset and liability values are coming correct or not, along with the proper breakup. The format that they have given you, whether it is coming fine or not, they are going to verify. Because if we were talking about SAP FICO, it's all about accounting, it's all about financials. Keep this point in your mind. Do not think that it's only about configuration. If you know the T code, you will be able to clear the interview, you will be able to work on SAP FICO. It's a big mistake. No surprise, you will get scared after joining an organization, you may get absconded. Because you will not know what work you are going to get assigned and what things you are going to work on. And you may have to talk to the people who may be talking only about my TB is not matching, my GL ledger value is not correct. They may talk only the accounting, because the people who are working along with you, people who are seeking your assistance, your help, are only the people who are working on basic accounting at the ground level. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Those who are working on GL, AP, AR, taxation, cash, banking, BRS, assets, taxation, all these areas, people, users will be interacting with you. What will they talk? They will not ask you, please tell me the T code of this GL posting, please tell me the T code of this, tell me how did you configure this. Nobody is going to ask you that. It is already implemented, it's already working. So they are going to ask you different questions. They are going to ask you different additional requirements. They are going to tell you the problems of the existing process. They will ask you to give solutions for this. They will ask you to propose some improvement plans on your current client system. This is what we are doing, but we have to give some improvement plans to the client. Just to see what things we are currently using in this project, in this client, and where we can improve the client system performance. What new processes we can bring in. No surprise, you may be given this task in your project. But how do we understand? First of all, if I give you an SAP system, ID password, if I tell company code is, let's say, ABCD is the company code. I'll tell, can you tell me what is implemented from FICO point of view in this ABCD company code? Will you be able to log into the system and then verify what activities are configured or what business processes are used? How do you verify? How do you verify? How do you know that whether GL module is implemented, whether AP is implemented, AR is implemented, asset accounting is implemented, the taxation is implemented, what kind of Z reports they are using? And sometimes you may be given this task and some person may be sitting next to you. Do you Google in front of them? Can we Google in front of a person who is sitting next to you or who is watching what you're doing? Yes, no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
You cannot do it, right? So you have to think at that level and then prepare accordingly. So do not prepare for your interview. If you prepare for interview, you will not be able to survive in your job. Because interview preparation is only for 30 minutes performance. But if you get your interview cleared, you'll have to perform every day 8 hours. During the interview, we will tell everything. You worked on this? No, but I can work. I am ready to learn anything. I am ready to work 24/7. But once you join, everything is reverse. And one more point here. Let's say you cleared your interview. Okay, interview is cleared. Next thing is what? Joining. Is that right? When you join any company, first thing what you will do, you will meet HR and document submission. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Be very confident with whatever the documentation you have or you are going to submit. You have to be confident first. Because sometimes HRs might ask this is missing, that is missing, this seems to be not clear like that. So you have to be confident enough in talking. If you're not confident, if you are showing that you're scared, you're getting tensed, nervous for these kind of questions, from the HR, they will get doubt. Don't let anybody get doubt on you. Assuming that this you have cleared successfully, then your introduction with project team. You may be introduced to the project team. So when you're introduced to the project team, what will happen? First thing, you will meet a project manager or a lead. Who you will meet first?
Uh,
Particularly.
You will meet a project manager or a project lead. Now, anybody you are meeting, let's say you are meeting anybody after joining a company, what will they ask? They will ask your name, they will ask your experience. Yes, no? Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir.
yes.
They'll ask what you did earlier.
Right? They'll ask what is your experience. Just walk me through your experiences. Now here, don't talk like an interview. Here you have to be casual. In interview, you will tell everything. I worked on COPA, I worked on product costing, I worked on DME, I worked on BRS, this, that, everything we will tell in interview. Am I correct? Because you want to get selected there.
Yes, sir.
But after joining, when you meet anybody, don't tell everything like you told in the interview. Be very specific. This is not an interview, this is just an introduction. If you tell here that I worked, they might ask you on what areas you're strong, you're confident. If you tell I worked on everything, then they might ask you, do you have experience on BRS or COPA, product costing, asset accounting, or integrations, interfaces? You tell, yes, I worked, my previous project I worked, I handled. Then they will tell, okay, fine. He might ask you to get assigned in any of these areas because you told yes, as if you told in the interview. This is another mistake that you are going to do. You said that you worked on this. They are telling that, okay, we have assignments on this, we have work or projects going on this, please work on this, and they will introduce you stating that he is the new candidate joining our project, will be handling on all the assets, integrations, COPA or whatever. Now who created this problem? You only created for yourself. Correct?
Yes, sir.
They asked you
Yes,
what
sir.
areas you are comfortable with. They asked you whether you are fine with this. You said yes, I am fine with anything. Then you have to face. And you said you are experienced in it. You have to show your experience. Expectations will go high on you because those who are already working may be struggling with these areas. That is why they specifically ask, do you have experience on this? If you really have experience, if you are really confident on those areas, you can tell no problem in it because you can at least manage. If not, do not accept. Tell openly that no, sir, I did not work on this. I worked on mostly AP, AR, GL, banking, BRS, assets, anything that you are more comfortable with. They will put you in those areas only. They will assign only those area tasks. Nobody wants you to experiment on the project. Nobody will ever do it. If you say that you're not experienced on this, but if they have requirement only on this, what they will do, they will tell you upfront, okay, we will provide you the documentation, we will arrange initial KT, okay, initial training, then you will have to pick it up from there. Maybe for 1 or 2 weeks or maybe for 1 month, somebody will be assisting you, giving you the knowledge transfer. From there on, you have to pick it up because you are projecting an experienced. You're being projected as an experienced candidate. You are supposed to work independently. Nobody will come next to you. Nobody will conduct training sessions for you. Everybody will tell, no, 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 this is all standard. Let's say you are given a task on asset accounting or you have been asked to work on asset accounting. Then you will ask, let's say I am your senior consultant. You will ask me what issues we are getting asset accounting and all. You will be hesitant to ask a lot of questions. You will have 100 questions in your mind, but you will not ask anything. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
100 questions will run through your mind, but you will not ask anything. You will keep quiet. And I will tell, no, it's very simple, standard, plain here, all standard SAP only. No customizations. Over. I have given KT. I've given KT. I will send you an email. Dear XYZ, as per our discussion, we have discussed KT has been completed. Please acknowledge. You are new to the company. Will you reply that no, you told only standard to 2 words, you did not tell me anything? Do you write like that, or yes, completed, you will acknowledge? You will acknowledge stating that yes, KT has been completed. Now it's official for everybody that you are responsible for asset accounting. You will start getting the calls, you will start getting emails, you will start getting all the work routed through you. But the person who is supposed to give you KT has not given you properly. He is under impression you are already working on SAP. You already worked on asset accounting. You are already familiar with it. I said there are no customization, it's all standard. You said, oh, okay, fine. Whose mistake is this? Again, your mistake? The person who is supposed to give you KT is supposed to explain you everything, and he will share the documentation with you. He will share, this is the configuration document, these are the user manuals on asset accounting. They will simply tell, go through the document, that's all. By going through the document, if we understand, we will be in a different level, right? We will not be at this stage. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So if I go through the document, I will not be able to understand, because that is not a practice system to experiment. I cannot do whatever I want. Everything I'll get confusion. Whatever I want to do, whatever I'm asked to do, I'll get confused. What to do? I cannot go and ask for everything. If I go and ask for everything, is this correct? Should I log into this? Or should I do configuration in development 100 client or 200 client? Quality, which client I need to log in? How will I move the TR from this to this? So you cannot ask these kind of questions. At the same time, you cannot Google these kind of things on the office. Agree?
Yes, sir. What can we do in this kind of situation, sir?
These kind of situations you have to prepare before you attend your interview. These are all part of your SAP FICO course. It's not something that you know about this once you get a job. These are the things that are supposed to be known to you before you start attending your interviews. So that let them ask anything, because you are projecting an experienced candidate. You have to be aware of everything that an experienced candidate will do in a project. You don't have to work, at least know the things. Knowing things is not difficult, right?
Yes, sir.
At least you have something on your mind which you will speak up. Nobody will have a debate session with you. Nobody will have a detailed, lengthy discussions with you. Maybe 1-2 minutes. Handling that 1-2 minutes is very easy. And if you show your skill set in 1 or 2 areas that you are very strong, the other person will definitely get impressed with you. Let's say that I am very good at asset accounting. Tell the other person is also not good at you, not good at everything. But since you are new, they want to take advantage of you. That's it. Same thing, nothing new. The way you worked in your previous organizations in non-SAP, even in SAP, it will be the same. There is nothing change. But we should not think SAP means it's a different world and all. Nothing like that. Same things, same politics that you have seen on your previous organizations, previous profile, everything is the same. It is just that you are working on SAP. Apart from that, everything is same. You don't find any difference. Don't think that you are SAP FICO consultant, something will happen newly, nothing will happen. Right? Now, these points, if you are not aware, it is very difficult for us to clear the interview, because this is what they are going to ask you. And if they ask about this cutover activities, data migration cutover activities, if you tell implementation project, this is a mandatory topic to be discussed on any interview. And when you have to tell cutover activities, you have to tell in detail, not like master data, transaction data. Don't tell master data, transaction data, elaborate. What master data you have, what transaction data you have, how you collected master data, how you uploaded it, which tool you have used. And they might ask you, how do you decide your cutover strategy, or how do you plan your cutover activities, and how do you plan the data for the days in which you are not using SAP. Let's say if you are going live on April 10th. If you are going live on April 10th, what will be your cutover month? If you are going live on April 10th, This month 10th, our
March.
project is going live. Your cutover month will be March. March 31st is your cutover. For this, you are going to get trial balance. And what about April 1st to April 9th? What is this called? April 1 to April 9. What is this called? How do you get this information? This is called as your catchover. This is called as catchover. How do you gather the data from 1st April to 9th April? And if you say that you are part of an implementation project, you may get one more question. I'm not telling you the points that you can answer. There are certain things that you can answer without any preparation. I am telling you only the points which you may get surprised when you listen to the question in the interview. They may ask, on go live, what happens? If you say that you are part of an implementation project or a project is going live, on go live date, what will happen? If I ask you this question, do you have any answer? I am looking at your resume. Okay, this question may be asked by your technical round interviewer or your managerial round interviewer. You might ask, what happens on go live date? Let's say April 2nd is your project go live. What will happen on that day? Now, if we are blank for this answer, if you are silent for this answer, will you be selected?
No.
No, sir.
You're telling that you have an experience, you're telling you implemented one project, but you do not know what happens on go live date. Now, is this related to your SAP FICO course content? GL, AP, AR, taxation, asset accounting, integration, this, that? No, right? Now, on go live date, what will happen? One transaction will get posted in production system. What will happen on go live date? One transaction will get posted on production system by CFO or CEO or some higher official. Somebody from the higher official will post one transaction on the production system. What is that one transaction called?
Sales invoice.
Sales entry is posted. Why sales entry is posted on go live date in the production system as first transaction?
Revenue.
This is a sentiment. What is this? Sentiment. Sales will give a revenue. You want to make revenue, you want to make profit. Profits will come only when you perform sales. So that is why they will do sales. Okay, they'll post first entry, they'll do cake cutting, they'll do photo sessions, go for lunch or dinner. That's all. That is what happens on go live. And if you are part of an implementation, you have to tell this. No surprise, you may get this question, what happened on your go live date? Can you explain me? Can you tell me? And I cannot say I forgot, right? Can I say I forgot? I don't remember.
No, sir.
Certain questions will have no answer except to accept that you are not aware of it. You have to accept no other goal. You have to surrender yourself. And when you get these kind of questions, when you face these kind of scenarios, after this interview, from the next interview, you will be scared to attend interview. Believe me or not. You will get scared to attend the interviews. You never know what kind of questions they are asking, because these are the things that you would not have heard in your SAP FICO course content, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's fact, we have to talk about, yes, we did a cake cutting, we had photo sessions, we went for lunch, we went for dinner. First entry was posted by CFO. You have to prepare the system for that, and you will have to make your ID, the ID which your CFO or the higher official will log in into the production system. You will be afraid of it until that entry is posted. Everybody heart will be beating like anything, because sometimes when your CFO is posting an entry, it may give an error. You are not authorized to VF01, or period is not opened. You may get any kind of error, or balancing field, profit center is not filled. You may get any kind of error. You don't want to get any such kind of error, and you cannot post an entry in production directly before handing over system to the client. So what you will do, you will simply assign SAP all role to the ID which CFO or the higher official is going to log in, just to ensure that no error is coming. It looks very awkward, it looks very bad if any of these errors, or if any error comes on the production system when they are trying to post an entry on go live date. And the person will easily figure out whether you have genuine experience, whether you have proper knowledge or not, by talking to you on these kind of things. Who will discuss with you configuration? Who will discuss with you asset accounting, user manual and all? Will anybody talk to you on this? Do you think somebody will talk to you on these areas?
No, sir.
Nobody will talk to you on these areas. Nobody will talk about subject at all when you're in a project. It's all about casual chit chatting. So all about your individual. You have to be an individual contributor. Now these points you have to be aware of. And when these kind of questions are coming, if you are aware that people will ask such kind of questions, and if you are prepared for it, there is no point of getting scared for your interview. You can go sit confidently in front of your interviewer, let him ask anything, answer casually. So in short, you have to treat interviewer questions as doubts. What you have to treat? Treat every question your interviewer is asking, treat that question as their doubt. Clarify as per your understanding. That's it. As per your knowledge or as per your understanding. If they are convinced, fine. If they are not convinced, go. There may be another person sitting with his doubts. Go clarify their doubts. Which means go attend another interview. But don't think that this is an interview, they are asking crazy questions and all. Inform your mind that he has got crazy doubts. Go somebody who will have good doubts. Go clarify their doubts. But the way you are looking at the things should be different. Look at the things in a way which will give you comfort, which will give you confidence. And it is fact, you will not get to know a lot of things what is happening on the market unless you have right contacts, unless you have right person guiding you. You will end up going nowhere. You cannot you cannot come back also, because all you find is a big dead end. And those who have already learnt SAP would have realized the reality by now. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is about all this, the basic generic facts. Now these are not part of any Google. You will not find these things anywhere. Only when you work you will get to know these things, or only when you have somebody who is working, only when you have somebody who is guiding, you'll get to know things. And when you know these kind of things, you will have confidence in a different level, because you are equipped completely. You have knowledge on everything. At least something you can speak up instead of keeping quiet. If you know something, you
Yes,
can
sir.
manage it. With that 2-3 lines, you can manage the entire show. At least give an indication to the other person that yes, I am aware of it. I know at least some basics about it. I'm not blank. So that confidence, if you are able to give, the other person is ready to take you, because all they want to see you in you is your confidence. If you know, you will talk anyways, but everybody agrees. But if you do not know something, I'm asking you to explain it, whether you are trying to make an effort or not, whether you are still being confident in explaining me back, or you are getting nervous. You are accepting that no, 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 I did not work. Don't do that. Don't change your words, because tomorrow you have to talk to the client. You have to face the client business users. You should be confident enough, and that confidence is what they see you in your interview. If you know the thing, anybody will answer. They are not concerned about it. If you do not know something, how you are managing it, that is what they are going to check in your interview. Because I don't want you to be expert on configuration, because we all will have configuration documents when you're in a project. Look at the document, look at the T code, look at the path, everything, and then do it. It is allowed for you to use YouTube. It is allowed for you to use Google. It is allowed for you to carry your notebook material, whatever, to your office. You're aware of this? Nobody will stop you watching YouTube videos on SAP FICO when you're in a project. Nobody will tell you. You're free to watch. But what you're watching matters a lot. If you're watching automatic payment program configuration on YouTube in the office, wrong. Organization structure in SAP FICO you're reading on YouTube or on Google, wrong. You have to know what content you have to watch in the office, what content you have to watch or read out of the office, offline. Your manager, your senior consultant, your project lead may tell you that check Google it, or check if there is any video on this in YouTube. Experiment it. You have to explore, you have to experiment. Find out the solution, that's it. Nothing is straightforward when you're in a project. Everything is complicated and tricky. If it is straightforward, this is not SAP. SAP is not straightforward. You have to go based on the logic, you have to go based on the concept. If you are missing the logic, if you are missing the concept, you will not be able to work on SAP FICO. Because your accounting is based on logic, concept. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
I cannot do just like that whatever I want. I cannot post the entries just like that whatever I want. Everything needs to have the proper justification. And end of the day, I must be in a position to generate the reports in a proper way. I must be in a position to give justification, explanation for anything that is going wrong. If an account is showing incorrect balance, if your client is asking you why this balance is showing in this account, I want to know how the values are flowing to this account. Make sure that you have relevant information with you to convince your client that when you post this entry will come to this account. But he will tell, but other entries also coming here. Then you have to tell, these are the 3-4 kind of transactions which will reflect in this GL account. Because this is part of your configuration. You must know where you have integrated this GL account. And if you are able to explain at this level to your client will be happy. If your client is giving you negative feedback that this candidate is not worth enough, skilled enough, we are not satisfied with him, no other option to your project team to release you from the project. To release you from the project means you will not be working for that client from tomorrow onwards. It may be you will not be working for that client from tomorrow. You may be assigned to another client, or you may not be working for your client, your company from tomorrow onwards. All because that the other person is not convinced, the other person is not satisfied with your work efforts. And tomorrow if it is found that your experience got failed, your experience verification has got failed, or some other thing had happened, but your client is telling we are fine, we want this candidate, let anything happen, nobody will touch you, because client had said that I want this candidate to support me on FICO. That's it. Nobody can touch you, nobody can remove you from the job no matter what. Even if you resign, they will ask you, please stay back, please extend for at least 2 to 3 months. You're getting my point, right? It all depends on what? The way you are working. It all depends on the way you talk. It all depends on the way you understand the things. Nobody is expecting from you to give solution on the spot. Everybody will expect you to understand the problem first. Listen to me, what I am telling, what my pain is. And then think through, come up with a solution. I don't need immediate solution. I don't want immediate treatment. Nobody wants it. You take your time, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, take your time, give me a solution. Which means things are not straightforward, things are not standard. There are different tricky scenarios in it. But your client, your user may tell, may not tell. It is your responsibility to ask cross questions, to understand it, to test thoroughly. Okay, so there is something called positive testing and negative testing. Now we all end up doing positive testing, we will never see negative testing. But the first thing that your client will do is he will do a negative testing. What is negative testing? Any idea?
Can wrong posting be happen? This is what
Right.
Ajay.
If I put positive amount in one account, it has to get posted. But what if I put negative amount? If it is accepting negative amount also, there is no control. You will tell no, system is allowing a negative control also, negative amount also. You cannot say that you did not tell me this. This is basic fundamental that you have to know. You should have done negative testing. Because tomorrow something goes wrong, most of the times, including your project manager, including your team lead, will be on the side of your client, not you. Unofficially, they may be offline, they may be with you, but officially, they will be on the favoring side of client. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
It may be that your client is wrong, but still your project team will support your client only, because end of the day, it's a business deal. Okay, your fast pace will not work in a real environment. In everything, certain areas you have to be super fast, certain areas you have to be neutral. Listen to it and then do it slowly, patiently, peacefully, and then deliver it. Small techniques that you have to know. That's it. Nothing will happen to you. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to depend on anybody. Even if they send you to the desert, to the forest, you will be able to sit alone independently and then can work. You have to get that confidence. Don't depend on somebody. They asked me to work on this, I don't know anybody, I don't know anything. You start googling. In fact, when you're on a project, whatever the issues, whatever the clarifications, whatever the queries that you get, you will not find them on Google, you will not find them on YouTube. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. Issues that you face on real time, queries that you get on real time, you will not find them on YouTube, you will not find them on Google. Anybody experienced?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Check with your network, check with your people who are working on SAP. Is Google helping them? Is YouTube helping them solving their problems in real time? It will not. Your YouTube, your Google will have only the configuration part. In reality, your configuration part is nothing. You will have hard copies with you. But The problem there is you have to understand the business requirement, and we will struggle in understanding the business requirement. With configuration, you can do nothing unless you are clear with the requirement. You are not clear with the requirement. What is the point of configuration document? What is the point of remembering T code, IMG path, fields on each screen, table? Nothing is going to help you. As we already discussed, if you are clear with the business requirement, everything will follow you automatically. Even if you say I don't want config, you will automatically learn config. The only point that you have to focus on is business requirement. If you are able to understand the business requirement, you understood SAP. You don't need anybody. You don't even need me. You need me only to make you understand, to make you help how to understand the business requirement, how to map this in SAP. There is nothing new for me to teach you the configuration. Anybody who teaches config, it is the same. If you have to create company code, if I have to create company code, if any other person will have to create company code, it is same transaction code. Am I correct? Same field. But
Yes,
the
sir.
way I create a company code is different. The way you create a company code is different. Something runs in my mind before I create a company code. Nothing runs in your mind before you create a company code. Whatever comes in your mind on that time, when you're on the SAP screen, you are creating. We don't even have clarity what 4-digit code to be used for company code. How will we understand SAP FICO? If you go to create company code screen, you will find a field called company code, correct? And
Yes,
this
sir.
will be 4-digit character, alphanumeric. Do you know what 4 digits you have to take there? Or we just like that put 4 digits, fancy numbers. Most of the times we put fancy numbers. ABCD 1 2 3 4 8888 0000. Why we are keeping like that? Nobody will ever do like that in any project. What 4 digits to be kept will be discussed with your client. Your client has to be okay with these 4 digits. Now these digits will have to be part of your KDS document. Any idea what is KDS document? Anything that you are creating on SAP, the code identification must be discussed with your client and must be agreed by your client. It's not your wish that I'll create whatever comes. It is discussed, it is agreed, it is approved by your client. Only then you have to use the same code. But do we think that what code I should take? Or will just like that create? How did you create this? Those who have already configured system? Any logic you had, or you just like that created?
We are just
And
created
in your interviews
directly,
you
sir.
will get questions on naming convention. You'll get questions on naming convention. If you say that you worked on cost center accounting, yes, I will tell I worked on cost center accounting. They will ask what is your cost center naming convention. You will hear it for the first time. What is cost center naming convention? When you create a cost center, how many digits you had in your cost center? Cost center maximum length is 10 digits, correct? If you have created 6 digits, if you have created 8 digits, if you have created 5 digits, what are these 6 digits representing? What are these 8 digits representing? What are these 5 digits representing? Do we have any idea? Did we think through this while creating a cost center?
No, sir.
And you will be questioned on this in your interview. And tomorrow when you join any project, you have to first understand the naming conventions. This is one of your activity when you join any organization, when you join any project. There is certain list that you have to know. If your cost center is 10 digit, or 6, any digit, it will have a breakup. Like first 4 digits will talk about your company code. Some logic will be there. And you have heard any time called MDM team or MDG team, master data management, master data governance. These are on SAP only. SAP master data management, SAP master data governance. Anybody heard?
Yes, sir. We have MDM team.
Right? So MDM is responsible only for maintaining or creating master records. Let it be GL, customer, vendor, any master record, MDM team is responsible. Because master data is so sensitive. You cannot create just like that whatever number, whatever code comes in your mind. Everything is predefined in your business blueprint. Everything has a rule, everything has a limitation. You have to adopt, you have to follow the same rule, same limitation, and then create it. Anywhere, if you find any deviation, it will undergo approvals. Because you are changing the process. This is a breach of your existing process. Now, on this also you will get questions. If you create GL account, they will ask you what is the length of your GL account number in your chart of account. If you say 6 digit, 8 digit, 9 digit, 10 digit, they'll ask you why did you create 8 digits. You cannot say I don't know. You cannot say I do not know why 8 digit GL number is created. You cannot say client has 8 number as lucky number, so we went for 8 digit. You cannot say such things. Either you have to accept I have not worked, I am not aware, or you have to answer something relevant. Which means whatever the things that you are creating, the code identifications that you are giving will play a major role. Everything is part of your documentation. Your business blueprint, key data structures, BPML. Any idea what is BPML?
Business process master list.
Business process master list. This is the list of transaction codes applicable for your project. Am I correct? Your
Yes.
user manual
Yes, sir.
preparation, your roles and authorization creation is dependent on BPML document. If you get a question, what is BPML document? Or do you know about BPML? If you say I don't know, gone. This is common in your support project. This is common in your this is common in any project. And we have to be aware of these points. Only then it is easy for us to survive. There is no point for you to get scared because you are getting to know a lot of things even before you get into a job. Tomorrow when you are in a project, you will get the same things. Ask your friends about all these points that we are discussing. Check how many of them are aware of it. Check if they approve it. Yes, these are all correct, valid or not. You have to verify. While you are learning only, you have to verify whether you are learning correct or not. Because if you are learning, you are verifying. If you found something is wrong, you can question me, right? Once I say your course is completed, what will you do? It's easy for me to say that why you didn't ask during the course. Now your batch is completed. Now everybody will ask, do you have any questions, any confusions, doubts? Are you practicing? We all will tell, yes, we are practicing on a daily basis. No questions, no confusions. Having said this, at the end of the course, you cannot say that you did not teach me properly. It is your mistake. You came to the training without knowing anything. Blindly you came and joined. It is your fault. It's your fault that you have joined blindly in a training institute without doing any kind of research, without knowing the reality, without knowing the facts. For which we cannot blame the other person. Our mistake. right? We should have discussed with somebody before joining some institute, or at least some basic research what is to be learned to become a SAP FICO consultant. Finance or accounting is mandatory to become a FICO consultant. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. Anybody aware of this? Accounting is base for any SAP FICO. Agree with me?
Yes.
If you are
Yes, sir.
not good at accounting, you will not be able to manage, you will not be able to become successful in your SAP FICO. Whatever you do day in, day out is dependent, is based on accounting. If you're not clear with debit, credit, how entries are being posted, what is the financial impact, you may get a simple question from your user, from your management, from your manager in the sense, or client manager. We want to pass this accounting entry, we want to post this entry, we want to know how this will affect our financials. What is the financial impact of this transaction if we do it? If we perform this entry, how it will affect our financials? You cannot say I don't know, because they know what they are going to debit, what they are going to credit, but they want to see where and all it will affect in SAP, which reports will get affected by passing this entry. So you have to have basic financial accounting knowledge. Basic. You don't need to be an accounting expert. If you are able to understand basic financial accounting, that is more than enough. Because every day you are working on this, it's a continuous learning improvement. You will get to know a lot of things. But to start off, basic financial accounting knowledge is mandatory. Without which, if you are learning creating company code, posting entries, you are going without any route. Nobody knows where you will reach. You do not know your destination you are traveling.
So can we practice on that, sir? Or is there any
Which
way
one?
that we can learn accounting, basic accounting things? Because
Your classes
yes,
will
it is
begin
really
from the
mandatory.
basic accounting. I'll be starting your sessions from debit credit onwards.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I'll not create a company code unless we complete basic accounting. I've not even opened my SAP login pad till date. Did I open?
No, sir.
I will be opening SAP. I'll be showing you company code creation only after explaining basic accounting that is needed for you to become a consultant. Only after explaining the basic org structure of SAP that is needed for you to create a company code. Till then, we will not be logging into SAP. If you want to know how to create a company code, there is no point of joining with me. There is no point of joining any training institute, in fact. It's a free content. Anybody can learn for free of cost. There's nothing new in it. Download documents from Google, open YouTube, find a lot of videos on how to create a company code. But the point is, why, on what basis, how you're creating this. That is the big question. So that logic, that concept is what you have to know. That is the only reason you are joining any training institute. To know how to create what is what, please refer YouTube for free of cost. Please download the documents, refer them for free of cost. You pay 1500, you will get S4HANA for 3 months. You pay 800, you get ECC server for 3 months. Or else you can take server on shared basis. Two people can take 750 rupees, you will get 3 months S4HANA system, free videos on YouTube, free document on Google. Download and then practice. Don't waste your money for this kind of learning. At least you are able to save amount, time you can do while doing your work. You don't have to spend additional 1 hour or 2 hours to attend any session. All right. Okay then. So
Yes, sir.
evening today we'll connect at 9 p.m. Is that fine for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Same link,
Yes, sir.
we'll be connecting at 9 p.m. today. All right then.